Almost 8 years ago, I taught you to play corduroy. It was one of the first videos, or maybe the first video on my channel, but I've just discovered that I missed a few critical details. So in the interest of exhaustive accuracy, I thought we'd swoop back and do it again, but not before I take just a moment to thank the following people for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the Cause Club: Sarah Golino, Tim McGlynn, I like saying that name, Chris, Angus, and Kevin Fornito. Thank you very, 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 very much for your support. And if you would like to find out what that's all about, the link will be in the description. This is my parts caster, I guess people call it, that I put together to be a reasonable facsimile of the Schecter PT that Eddie Vedder played for so long and now I believe hangs in Wrigley Field. This guitar started life as a Schecter PT, but the fretboard was rosewood, so I put a new neck on it, put some pickups I yanked out of a Les Paul in there, and some locking tuners. Your guitar, whatever it is, should be in standard tuning. So first we come to the intro. Put your pointer finger on the A string 7th fret and your ring finger or your pinky finger on the D string 9th fret. Here's the pattern. We're going to bounce from A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D. And then all that happens is your pointer finger comes off. Same exact plucking pattern. And you do that over and over again. We're going to ramp up into the verse, at which point you do the one where the pointer finger's down, but then you're going to start strumming away on the open A string 1, at which point I'm going to mute the E string with my thumb so I don't have to strum like a whoopie doopie, and then we're going to go to the E string 8th fret, so it's going to be... and then we'd go into the verse. But here's critical detail number 1. It sounds like on the record that there's some strange wiggly effect on the intro guitar. I'm sure that's a pedal somewhere. But I saw Eddie Vedder doing it in a video recently, and he is literally wiggling the D string. So when you do this, you don't have to worry about the tempo of the song or anything. Just get going and try to stop thinking about it. Exaggerated for the point of showing it, but I love that. Okay, so now you're wiggling, and we're going to move to our open A string plus D9, no whoopie doopie situation. We're definitely going to add our middle finger to the E string 8th fret, but here's something to consider, and this sounds pretty right to me. Let's add the pointer finger to the A string 7th fret as well. This makes a root 3rd major 7, C major 7 chord, and when you strum the whole thing away, that sounds great. So I'm going to do it that way. Anyways. And then we're into the verse, where I probably showed you power chords. And you can do it that way, it's fine. It's going to be an F power chord on the A string 8th fret, make it 3 notes, down to E on the 7th fret, into a regular old G chord. But these are definitely whole entire major chords with thirds in there. So it's this kind of bar chord. A8, DGB 10, down to E, and then your normal G chord. That's your verse. Now, I am not a slide guitar player, but I just want to point this out because I enjoy it so much in the track. This is a jet slide. They're really cool because you can kind of disengage them and play normal, and then you just use your pinky to stick it into place. But we're thinking about that top side of that F chord, and you go F, F, down to E, and then up to the 12th fret G, and you can, you know, make it all messy and awesome if you want. And one more tiny detail that happens only one time on the track. It's in the 2nd verse, and it's in the verse. That's so redundant. That happens one time only. 2nd time in the 2nd verse. You go O2 hammer on the A string, and then pluck the open E string. Do that as much as you want. That brings us to the chorus. I don't want to take what you can't give, right? It's C add 9 and do this one of two ways. We definitely want the B and E string 3rd fret. The choice is up to you when you have either just the A string 3rd fret or the A string 3rd fret and the D string 2nd fret. It really doesn't make much difference on the track. This happens once coming out of the bridge, and this happens the rest of the time, but they're both C add 9. So C add 9 to G with a B in the bass, which is just G but no E string, and mute it. We don't want to hear it. But now, I believe I showed you it was the open A string into a G chord. It is an entire A chord. There's no mistaking it. So C add 9, G with a B in the bass, A, one finger style, into G. And that's the chorus. I never knew that until 10 minutes ago. Also, after you hit that G, one of two things happens, and this is Mike McCready's job live, but you either just pluck E, B, G just how they are, or you open up that E string and pluck those. So you pick. Whichever one you want to do as often as you want. And now we've made it to the interlude, which Pearl Jam fans you'll recognize as the live intro since forever, so you might want to just play the intro that way. And we're doing this thing again, and here's your particular plucking pattern, your P cubed. It's going to be A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A, finger off, A, D, A, D, A, and then the E string 8th fret, E, E, D, E, D, A. Notice that open A string that gets snuck in at the end. Nice and slow. A, D, A, D, A, A, D, A, D, A, 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 D, A, D, A, E, E, D, E, D, A. Before you repeat. The next time something's different is the bridge. Everything has chains, right? And it's only two chords. We need G with a B in the bass and C add 9. Play C add 9 either way. Over and over and over again, but there's Mike's part live, which is just, you've got the B string 3rd fret and the E string 3rd fret, and that E string's going to go down to 2 as well, like this. You don't have to choose. You can do both of those things at the same time. But it's going to require a little bit of finger origami. G with a B in the bass, right? And in this chord, your middle finger is responsible for that baby E string going down. When we go up to the C add 9, you can now definitely only play it with the middle finger, and now your pointer finger is responsible for that baby E string going down. I find that highly satisfying. Towards the end of the song, you're going to be doing your verse, so your F, your E, and your G, but the very last time on the line, all alone like I began, you're not going to make it down to G, you're going to just get stuck on the E. So you'll be second to last time, last time. I like to let that low E string ring out when I do that, or if you're feeling really adventurous, one guitar just plays a big low E power chord, so if you want to go all the way down there. And then we have the low, breakdown section, and then we're back into, and so on, and as it gets thrashier, it's the this version. And the more I think about it, the more I think about what it sounds like, I think that's right. E8, A7, D9 for that, again, C major 7 chord. That's the 3rd chord of the thrashy section. And with that, there are cats everywhere. And those are all the pieces. So corduroy's done. Go use your earballs and figure out which one goes where, when, or go sign up for my Patreon page where you will find a playthrough if you'd find that helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.